Hey y'all, welcome in. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you're returning, welcome back, squad. I'm here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you and I'm talking to them. I may say them and I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid, so I could be talking about the recent past, the present, or the future. If you'd like to book a personal line with your own story, all my information is below in the description box. I invite you to join me for a session. Damn. I invite you to join me for a session. My books are always open. Come on in, y'all. Normally, I don't work on the weekends, but I had an emergency reading earlier, and since I was sitting here at my desk, I figured I'd just go ahead and turn the camera on and start a video. Some real interesting energy. I've been heavily distracted today as well. I've actually tried recording this a few times since I've been sitting here, and the distractions have been like back to back to back. Every time I sat down, something was going on, and noise and distractions. And there's also a gigantic fly in my house. Flies and gnats are monitoring spirits. Child, this thing been all. I've already killed a couple of flies and gnats, but I got one that is. It moved from the front of the house to my office. Like now it's been flying around my office every time I sit down. Like it feels like it's following me, because when I'm in the kitchen, it's in the kitchen with me. When I go to the front of the house, it's in the front of the house. Now that I'm in my office, it's flown around my office a few times and it's starting to piss me off. But let's get into it. Let's talk about what we got out here. I'm not going to do an oracle pull first. We're just going to dive in to tarot. Okay. Alright, so opening energy. It kind of looks like somebody. This may revolve around a masculine energy. Doesn't have to. I'm only saying that because the King of Wands is out here. But it looks like somebody made a decision to. I mean, this is the mind, so this is a decision. It looks like somebody walked away, or I don't know if there was like conflicts between you, or real or perceived. I do kind of feel like there had been a little bit of confusion going on within a relationship. I don't know. I want to say the confusion may have had something to do with somebody, and I don't even have breadcrumbing out here, but just I'm like looking at the energy signature over here. It feels like, because this is Venus, so it feels this feels like somebody here may have prematurely walked away from a relationship dynamic. They may have walked away from a relationship dynamic. It's kind of weird because I feel like this is some type of revelation for this person. Like realizing they walked away from something that they actually, it's like walking away from somebody that you actually have love, or that there was a relationship where there had been some unconditional love. I feel like the energy between you may have been very spicy. Could have been real spicy. Lots of attraction, fun times. But they may have walked away, and I feel like this is a revelation or a realization that maybe they acted in haste. They thought something, whether it made them uncomfortable or made them afraid. Because there's a component there of like feelings. It looks like somebody making a hasty decision to just kind of walk away from something. It's like walking away before they get in too deep or something like that, right? So part of the blockage, this feels like somebody, there is a component of ego, competition. Okay, so the energy, it feels like, okay, so it's like somebody here, like say there was a good relationship between you, right? There, whatever the nature of the relationship was, right? There's a good relationship at some point. But this feels like somebody, remember I said there's an ego component. And it has a lot to do with the fact that somebody doesn't want to be in competition with anybody else. So say if you are someone who is very attractive and the other person's fly is pissing me off. Say you're very attractive and the other person that you're dealing with are also very attractive. This feels like an energy. Maybe you didn't respond to them in the way that most people do. So maybe you're a little bit more, because this feels like maybe there isn't, I don't want to say there wasn't any attraction. You may not have necessarily, like I said, you just didn't respond to them the way that they normally. So because if this person had other options, if they were dealing with other people, you didn't necessarily respond to them in the way that most people do, right? So because you didn't, like, it gives a weird runner chaser energy, and I'm not saying like you were running or chasing, but it's almost like whoever this person is, they might actually kind of like the chasing aspect. They might have actually liked the chase, and you didn't do that. You didn't do that. So I do feel somebody here is battling with their ego. I mean, these mosquitoes have been tearing me up. Oh, great. I'm bleeding. It's like somebody here getting their ego triggered because you didn't chase after them. You didn't chase after them. And whoever this person is, like I said, you may have known them for a really long time. Again, I don't really know what the nature of their relationship is. This could, honestly, it could be anybody. It's somebody that you've known for a long time, though. I don't like this. I don't like it. This is a weird energy. And the crazy part about it is, what they didn't see is that, because I said they made a decision. I see it in two different places. It's also part of the lesson. They made a decision in haste. They did it fast, without thinking. This is with them without thinking. And here is them making a mistake and then trying to stand 10 toes down on the decision that they made, right? You may have been very guarded, or you may be very protective of like your energy. Like you may not actually, like the energy I'm getting is like you're maybe somebody who, because you've been burned before in the past, by connections or people that weren't emotionally supportive to you, you may be a little bit more reserved in the way that you engage with people, right? Like, I know I said slow and steady wins the race a few readings back. Like that was kind of a theme that I feel is here too. It's like for you, you are more slow and steady. You want to build the foundation because it feels like this person, they just want to jump in and get to it. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It looks very much like somebody just wants to get to it. They wanted to get to it, right? So maybe this is a relationship. It's like almost, because the way that I'm seeing it, almost feels like this person thought that they could come in here and the way that I'm hearing it, it's like somebody wanting to come in and bed you, but because you don't operate that way, they found it very challenging. And they found it challenging, but the challenge more so triggered their ego, because you're slow and steady. You're slow and steady. I'm going to build into this because you don't want to get yourself involved in something that doesn't really have the components that are of value to you. You value the stability of a solid foundation. Like, you also recognize too that when you go in, like the way this gentleman wanted to go in, it would burn out and fizzle over time, right? And then you would be left carrying the baggage of trying to build a relationship that actually has components of emotions. It's really interesting because I don't see, like, I feel like you may be very unconditionally loving, very nurturing. You're into the build. This person's into the passion. Yeah, that didn't work out so hot for them. Okay. Yep, they walked away from it because wow. Now, whoever this person is, like, this feels like they made this decision. Oh, and then you blocked. Okay, so whoever this person is, like, when you walked away from this situation, whether you walked away or they walked, I kind of get an impression that initially they may have walked away, and then when they walked away, you had to kind of reconcile how you felt about that. And then ultimately you ended up making a decision to be like, all right, good. I'm not, because they're, when you get involved with people, like, say one person walks away, the other person's still kind of dealing with whatever feelings they have about it. So I think you may have addressed those feelings by simply just, instead of, focusing on that person and pouring your attention to that person, you kind of let it go and then started focusing on yourself. You made a choice to focus on yourself. You may have blocked this person. Okay, I do see that. You may have blocked this person, blocked communication. You're just like, all right, we're good. Yeah, see, you're slow and steady. This person wanted to just, it's giving, and it's funny because I do have, even with the collective cards that I have out here, this energy that's in the dilemma is, it feels like, Mars. No, not even Mars and Aries. It feels more like Venus and Aries. This feels like Venus and Aries. Where somebody, they get really bored if, because remember I did say it's like somebody trying to bed you, but you're not like, I'm not a loosey-goosey. I'm not just out here busting it wide, busting it open for everybody. And this person had an expectation of you busting it open, busting it open for them. And you're like, skirt, hold on. Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. You're like, wait, we gotta, there's some steps here. Like, we're not just jumping into this Ace of Wands energy. We're not just jumping into this. We're not jumping into this Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands energy. Yes, I mean, I may be attracted to you, but no, I'm not. We're not doing that. Not that way. The Devil in reverse. Yeah, no, not that way. You know what I mean? So while this person may have, wanted to, may have wanted you to bust it open, collective was like, yeah, no, thank you. You want to have the benefits of having access to me like that without actually putting in the effort or taking the time to get to know me. You're no. Case of Swords. That's the truth. And I kind of feel like this person is like, They're feeling some kind of way right now. They're feeling some kind of way. Like a fool. Somebody here is feeling like a fool. Feeling like a fool. Because they made a choice. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so let me tell you one thing. Whoever this person is to you, that you are heavily on their mind. And they're really having issues with the fact that they made certain decisions. And remember what I said before, is like, you are slow and steady wins the race. You are about the build. Let's build a foundation so that we can, you know, because when you have a solid foundation, I've talked about it in other readings, it's like, when you have a solid foundation, little blips and disagreements and things like that can't come in and wash it all away, because you've built a solid foundation. And that's the reason why, because you've been in relationship dynamics where you had just this, where it didn't have the foundation. And so, you know, when you don't build the foundation, especially if we're talking about a physical relationship or something, you know the value of the relationship, but you also recognize that when you get into situationships where it's nothing but a physical component. Yeah, there's attraction and all that stuff, but if you don't actually take time to build the foundation, you know, get to know each other and all of that stuff, you're not looking at getting involved in relationships only for the physical aspect of it. You're also looking for the foundation and an emotional component. You're looking for something that's going to be emotionally supportive. Maybe you even need to build certain kinds of trust with people before you engage in that type of activity, because you've been burned before. I totally understand. This person here is now kind of fucked up in the head because they recognize that they made decisions. I don't even know, it's like, I'm not even sure if they, well, no. I'm like, I'm not even sure if they can see you, because I don't have any cards that are talking about like being in the public eye. So I don't know if maybe this is just somebody thinking in hindsight, like, damn, I was moving too fast and the collective wanted to go slower, but because I was horny and I just wanted to fuck, you know what I mean, I made certain decisions, and so it forced the collective to make certain decisions as well. They're kind of beside themselves because they're now recognizing what you were attempting to do. Does that make sense? Like, you were trying to build a connection that fostered, you know, honesty and transparency and open communication. Like, you were trying to create a foundation for a relationship outside, more than just like, if this almost feels like that's the only thing this person had to even offer you. You deserve better than that. You don't need that, honestly. Yeah. That's crazy. Because now I'm like pulling from the bottom of the deck. Like, I think that this person is realizing now what it was that you were trying to accomplish. And the truth is that they kind of sealed the fate on this situation because they weren't really willing to work with you. And since they weren't really willing to work with you, you decided to just cut your losses. So whether you walked away or they walked away, this feels like initially they, in their mind, they were just like, you know what, I don't know. This also could feel there was something in this dynamic, and maybe that's what it was for you. This feels like maybe there was something reminiscent Thank you, Spirit. There was something reminiscent in this exchange. Maybe you didn't, because this doesn't necessarily have, because I'm saying the Six of Cups is here, and that doesn't always mean that it was somebody, like somebody connected to your past or anything like that, but it could be that there may have been an emotional component that was reminiscent of an experience that you had in the past. I see that too. This feels like somebody making a decision to walk away. I don't know if this person triggered the fuck out of you or something. They may have triggered you in some kind of way. I want to say you may both have triggered each other. But the biggest component is there's a push and pull, because this person wanted to push forward and quickly. And you were like, hey, slow your roll. I want to build. I just see like a lot of red and a lot of green. It's like somebody wanting to push forward because the agenda was, like I said, the agenda was to bed you. That's what it looks like to me. Okay? And you were trying to be very open and transparent. Like, nah, I need to, we got to work this out in terms of making it solid before we do all of that. And this person, I feel like they just weren't willing to really do that. And so because of it, that it was kind of the closure that they didn't know that they were going to get, and the closure that you needed. You may have just decided to call it a wash and be like, yeah, no, I'm good. No, thank you. And last card out was death, bottom of the deck. Yeah. They ain't got no choice but to look at that. Well, whoever this person is, they do find you very attractive. They also find you very mysterious, and this person is absolutely watching you. If you are on social media, you have some kind of social media presence, they're either watching you or they're looking for you. They're looking you up. I do feel like this person wants to communicate, but I'm not even going to keep digging into it. They may want to communicate, they just do not have an in. They don't have a way in. Because like I said, you may have blocked them. And I love this whole line. It's like you're walking, especially if you decided, if you recognize that this ain't really it. You walk away, you choose yourself, you block them, and you're like, I'm going to focus on what makes me happy. I'm not even going to pay attention to this. Oh, look. Somebody wants some reconciliation. Oh, they're not. Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing, though. So, whoever this person is, they do want they want some reconciliation because they're not very happy. But I also think that this person may not necessarily be coming forward because they also recognize that there is a lot of work that would have to be done in order to get into your good graces. Like I said, they treated you they may have treated you kind of funny. So as far as the collective is concerned, you're not really, like I said, you're not tripping off of this person at all. I think you are living in this person's head rent free. I don't like this energy because it feels like somebody wanting to come back, but yeah, they're delusional. Whoever this person is delusional. They're delusional. Because this feels like somebody here who, it's like they want to come back, because I said over here they want some kind of reconciliation. But it would require, I mean, for you to entertain it, it would require, like I said, you like slow and steady wins the race. You wanna build a foundation with somebody before you like fully involve yourself, right? And then this person, it's like they recognize that if they were to, if they were to come back while they are unhappy, if they were to come back, they might even be more unhappy at the fact of the amount of work that would be required for you to even entertain it. And I feel like this person almost, the delusion part is, it's like somebody wanting to come back in and feeling like that y'all could just pick up where you left off. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yeah, so it's like they're looking back at the past and they're looking at the this person is looking at the past conflict, and I just really don't feel like, it's like part of their lesson was for them to come in and try to fix it and make it right. But on the back end, or like I guess on the front end, they're more worried about the amount of work that would actually have to be done. Yeah, see? Building blocks in reverse. Like they literally don't want, exchanging gifts in the reverse. Yeah. They would have to come in and do a whole hell of a lot of work, and what they're learning is they trying to figure out a way to get a message to you. They're really trying to figure out a way to communicate. But the problem is that this person, whoever this was, they didn't actually take they weren't taking the steps that you require in order to foster a foundation. You want slow and steady. This person does want to be in your life, but a whole lot of work would be required of them in order to be there. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm like, this one candle is going crazy. And out of all the candles that I have sitting up here, the glass on my first candle is starting to blacken around the edges, which means my candle work is working. It's combating whatever energies are being projected towards this one particular area of my life. I don't often talk about it. People who've been with me for a really long time, they know I do consider myself a witch. I was more like a white witch early in the early days. Now I would consider myself more of a gray witch because I work with my shadow. I don't offer spell work for hire because I believe that the magic that you produce for yourself is stronger than anything anybody else can do for you. Like I won't do the work for you, but I'll give you tips on what you need and I'll instruct you on how to do it yourself. But I only do spell work just for protection. Mostly protection. Okay. Listen, yeah, the failure, the reason why this relationship was a failure had a lot to do with the fact that the person you were dealing with were keeping secrets, or they were telling lies, they were doing things behind your back, or they had other people. Like I said, could have been, it could have been some breadcrumbing because they had a lot going on. This person may have had a lot going on. Yeah, so you just walked away from it. Because you were looking for stability. You only want to deal with people that you can create a solid foundation with. I said somebody's ego was flared. Look. Somebody's ego was flared. Because this didn't go the way that it was planned. Nope. It didn't go as planned. and you decided to walk away. You stood up and walked away. See, that's the problem. It's like I said, this person had a lot of other options. This person had a lot going on. This person had a lot going on. Yes, the Three of Cups. Yep, this person had a lot going on. And part of this lesson here is that there's no new opportunity. This is a missed opportunity. Yep, there it is. This is a missed opportunity. You were looking for something stable. They actually could have provided that for you. This person was a liar. No victory and success. They want you to let your guards down. They want to come in and communicate to you, but the likelihood is you're probably gonna reject the offer. Yeah, you're gonna reject the offer. Yeah, you're gonna reject the offer just because I feel like when you give folks a second chance, you run the risk of, you give somebody a second chance, you're more desirable when they don't actually have access to you. Once you give them access, then they act a fool, and then they're like, ha! Nah, ain't no gotchas around here. Ain't no gotchas around here. You're fucked up, and you're not getting a second chance. Whoever this is for you. Whoever this is, they don't get a second chance. You better not give them a second chance. You hear me? You better not. Don't do it. Because they don't deserve you anyway. They don't. They're attracted to you. And it's literally like if they don't have... And I feel like a lot of times, unfortunately, where some people, they don't... Like I said, they don't really know or understand the value of connection. I mean, yeah, this could be somebody who was like, whoever had the most hoes wins. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they did have a lot of options. You was just one of them. But by you knowing your value and worth and you not putting up with that shit, that was you saved yourself. I would definitely be like, rejection is God's protection. So if this person walked away from you and initially you were a little bit, upset about it or whatever, I wouldn't be, just because I don't want to use this deck, just because them walking away from you saved you from the bullshit that you would have had to deal with, because this person was not just entertaining you, they were entertaining other people as well. Yeah, I don't think I want to make this reading very long, actually. I think I don't. I'm like, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Let's use this one deck and then I'll wrap and we'll do another video. Yeah, so they have some kind of hopes of advancing the relationship. This person had hopes for advancing a relationship, like I want to say faster than the pace that you were willing to go. Like, I don't know, they wanted to move faster than you were willing to move. Yeah, it's like third party energy. This is like third party energy. So they had other things going on. Sex. Bad news or loss. Discouragement. Hard work with no profit. Much planning with little result. Yeah, I wouldn't be too upset about whatever this is. Like, if somebody walked away from you or whatever, I feel like it was more of a win for you than you may think right now. I think you dodged a bullet simply because this person, if they're, like I said, and I'm always going to remind you, if you got push and pull when you're dealing with people, it just means that they're not in alignment with you. And I can kind of see, and I have the Five of Wands out here twice, so there may have been conflicts between you. They could have had you in competition with other people, right? But I see here where they're now kind of seeing like, well, damn, they expected you, because remember I said they may have prematurely like walked away from this, right? Because they got other things they had going on. But on the backside of it was the fact that they might have expected you to come chasing after them when they initially walked away, and you were kind of like, oh, you walking away? Bet. I'm gonna go that way. That's cool. And then they turn around like, wait, where's the collective? That the collective didn't come after me. Nah, the collective ain't come after you. For what? It's like if you treat people like an option and folks are hip to that, then they're gonna be like, all right, bet. Loss of pride. I'm telling you, somebody's pride and ego was hit. Unhappiness, misfortune in love or marriage. Do not dwell, move on. It was not meant for you to dwell on this situation. Oh, I'll take all of these cards. So you were trying, oh yeah, it was a disappointment. You were looking for some type of like long, like a friendship. You were trying to meet, because, okay, so that's funny, because I just heard this. So when I was growing up, my mom used to always tell me like, you should be friends before you're anything. So maybe that's kind of the energy that you're in. It's like, you were looking for some type of like long-term friendship to start the foundation of it, right? And then when things suddenly turned and ended, and it became, like unlucky, very bad luck, negative karma, like somebody here ended up getting mollywopped because, yeah, they might have gotten some funky karma just for even playing with you. You were looking for some type of long-term friendship or something, and you ended up being disappointed because what you got wasn't what you wanted. Now they want to come towards you, trying to visit you or something, or at least have some type of communication with you, but they may not get that access. Nope, you can't go outside, Lucky. Yeah, they could be watching you on social media. Yep, they realized and they made a bad decision. They made a decision in haste. They made a decision in haste. Like y'all could have actually been really good. Like you could have been really good for this person. They fucked around and found out. Because now they don't have access to you. I don't know who this is. Yeah. And they were they were let down by the other options that they had. Like they probably had something really, they could have had something really good with you. I don't know what the nature of this relationship is. Yeah, and so whatever they chose over you, they weren't happy with it. They were let down. Yeah, look. They ended up with somebody who was cruel. They ended up with somebody who was cruel. Yeah, see, you were sent to this person's life. This is funny. You were sent to this person's life. Yeah, there's an unresolved dispute. There could have been success in the relationship had they put in some effort. You were sent to this person. Remember what I said yesterday? Is like, people will wish upon a star. They'll wish and they'll pray and they'll be like, God, just send me somebody who could love me unconditionally. And then God will send you and they'll be like, not that person. Not that. No, I don't want that. Right? That's kind of what this is. Because I feel like maybe, I don't think that you were necessarily put into this person's life for the purpose of sexual relations or intimate relationships. I don't get that energy out here. I feel like you were sent to this person's life in order to be like a really solid friend, somebody who could really be beneficial to this person's life. But they ended up looking at you crazy because they wanted to fuck and you were like, nah, let's be friends. I know you'll tell me in the comments, like, that's what this is. It kind of looks like somebody here who just wants, they just want to bump uglies, and you were like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to just like build, let's work on our solid foundation first. Let's build a friendship. And this person did not, they just were not interested in that. Their loss. Like, their loss, right? Shame on them. Overcoming obstacles, get back on your feet, gain strength from difficult situations. Past life connection. Now, maybe this is a past life connection. Somebody with heavy influence from a past life. Self-limiting beliefs. Negative thoughts are creating roadblocks in your life. Confession. Releasing a secret, pursuing virtue through honesty and patience. Manifestations are on the way. So this person could have been, if they had just been patient, I feel like somebody definitely wants to come towards you with some kind of confession to tell you how they feel, although I don't necessarily think that you're going to give them the opportunity, because I kind of get the impression that you're good off of whoever this is. You're not thinking about them. They're not on your radar. You chose somebody else. Good, keep going. If you don't like that one, that's too bad. That ain't got nothing to do with me kind of energy, you know. I'm going to leave it there, guys. This is an interesting reading. If any parts of this video resonated for you, gave you clarity over your own situation, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get it in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you'd like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. Please tell me what this relationship is, because that was kind of weird. And like I said, for the last, I don't know, month now, I've been picking up energies that are just very unfamiliar to me. So I don't know what I'm actually talking about. I don't know whose stories I'm talking about, because this don't sound like anything connected to me. So there's that. All right, guys, I love you. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.